What I really need to get used to is I had the lens here and then I had the viewfinder here, so it feels more natural to like look at myself here, because staring into the lens it feels like I'm trying to like look into your soul. Okay, I've just filmed this whole entire video and got to the end and noticed that my jewellery bag is on the side here and I've got all my cups and coffee cups and mugs on there, so that is actually so annoying. So just don't look at any of the space behind me while you're watching the video, just focus on my face. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming back. So what I was basically thinking is that unless you guys have come over from Instagram, I kind of just launched my Instagram channel and kind of went straight into some videos without any like introduction or anything about me. So I thought it is overdue that I do a little like Q&A or like get to know me. So what I did is I put up a Q&A box on my Instagram, so I'm just gonna answer like the most popular questions that were coming up. So yeah, I hope this is interesting. If you've come over from my Instagram, I hope it's not too much stuff that like you already know, because I put a lot of my life on my Instagram page. But so I've tried to like mix it up and put in some answers there that I haven't put already on my Instagram, so hopefully it's interesting. But yeah, okay, so I've got them all written down here so we can get into it. So one of the main ones that I got was, where am I from and how old am I? So I basically thought that I'd put them together. So I am from Bath, which is a city in the southwest of England. I highly recommend Bath. It's like this beautiful like Roman and Georgian city. It's so stunning. It's like a massive tourist destination. I've lived here my whole life and I literally still feel so lucky to live here. Like I do really love it. And how old am I? I'm 27. I've not been 27 for that long, and now when I say it, it still feels quite like, what? Like, how has that happened? So the next one is, how did I start Shedot.Travels? So Shedot.Travels is obviously my YouTube channel name, but it's also the name that I have for my blog, my Instagram and my TikTok as well. So how did I start it up? I started it up, so I started travelling, quit my job and went travelling full time in around end of 2017, the start of 2018. And the whole time I've always loved writing and like photography and things like that, and I kind of had it in my head to do something, but then I don't know, I just definitely was too worried about what other people were thinking. So I actually, the whole time I was travelling, and I went to like Southeast Asia, Australia, I lived in New Zealand for a year in the most beautiful place ever, Queenstown, and I didn't start it. I thought about it the whole time, but I was like, no, like what will people think? And then right at the end of the trip, me and my boyfriend Keelan were on a hike in New Zealand. We actually got like super lost, so we were just on it for ages. We started talking about like what our dreams were and what we would do if we could do anything, and I literally just said like I would just be love to be running a travel blog and like writing about different travels like as my full-time job. And then he's just like, just do it. So I went back that night. We were living in a little camper van. We used to stay at these like free campsites, so there was never any light or anything. So I was like sat in the dark like with my laptop, and I just set up this really rubbish now looking back on it blog, but yeah, that was the beginning. Set up my Instagram as well, and yeah, it's all just gone from there. I made myself a coffee so that I could like do this with a coffee, and I thought it'd be like quite a nice cozy feel. And I've just realised the mug says Daddy Cool. Like I don't know why we own this mug. We must have got it for my dad at some weird point in our lives, but yeah, now I just feel like I need to cover it up the whole time. So the next question is, did I go to uni and what did I study? So yes, I did go to uni. I went to Reading University, and I studied primary education with an English specialism. So I think I basically just, maybe in hindsight I should have just gone and done English, like maybe English language, because that's the thing that I was like super loved, or maybe some kind of like journalism or creative writing or something like that, because that's what I was really into. But the year I was going to uni, they raised the student fees. So in England they went from I think like 2,500 or 3,000 a year to like 9,000 a year. So I think I just got stressed out and I was like, okay, I need to do a degree that is going to lead directly to a job. So that's why I ended up going for primary education, because I thought about being a teacher quite a lot and I quite liked the idea, and then getting to do the English specialism felt like best of both worlds to me. So yeah, I went and did that. I did the 3-year degree, and then when you do a teaching degree in England, you then have to do 1 year after that to get properly qualified. So then I did the 1 year after that actually teaching in a school, and then after that is when I quit and went travelling. So this next question ties in. So it says, do I regret going to uni? Because I've put quite a lot on my Instagram about how obviously I did the whole degree, then I did 1 year of teaching, and then I quit, and I've been travelling now, yeah, since 2018. And I haven't really gone back to teaching, so no, I don't regret it. I definitely don't regret it. I think for several reasons. Like, one, I met Keelan at university. Keelan's my boyfriend, and he's the one who I've done a lot of my travelling with. So yeah, if I hadn't gone, I wouldn't have met him, so that's one big positive. And then also, like, I loved university. Like, I genuinely think those 3 years were some of the best of my entire life. Like, I just had so much fun. I met such good friends. Like, I just pretty much loved every second of university. So I would say the experience for me was worth it. So yeah, no, I definitely don't regret it. Probably will regret it once I start paying back my student fees and I actually comprehend how much debt I'm in. But right now, when I'm not thinking about it, then no, I don't have too many regrets. Okay, so this one kind of ties into that. I kind of just answered it, but it says, how did you and Keelan meet? So yeah, like I said, we met at university. So we were actually on the same course at university. We both did primary education, so he is like technically trained as a primary school teacher as well, but he doesn't do it either. So we weren't the best teachers to come out of it. So we were on the same course, so for the first year of university, we both were seeing other people and we were just friends. And then start of second year, I actually remember I ran into him in Reading Town Centre, like just before term had started, and then we were like, hi, how are you? Like, we should go do something, that we should hang out. And then decided to do one of our essays together, and then started just hanging out loads more, and it kind of progressed from like friends to better friends, and then obviously getting together. And that now we've been together nearly 7 years, which is just so insane. Okay, so I got so many questions about travelling, obviously, so I thought I'd just answer the kind of generic ones. So I've got like favourite place I've been, least favourite place I've been. I feel like this is hard because every time I get back from a trip, I think that's the best place I've ever been because I'm just so in the moment. But overall, I'd say, if you're from my Instagram, you're going to know my answer to this. Australia is the top place I've ever been. Like, I just was obsessed. I went with Keelan in 2018 and just, we absolutely loved it. We actually wanted to move back there. 2020, obviously COVID got in the way. Like, we had our flights booked and everything, and then it has never happened. But I am actually now going back to Australia in about a month's time. I actually booked my flights 2 days ago, so I cannot wait. I'm so excited about that. I haven't even actually said on my Instagram yet that I've booked my flights, so this is like an exclusive now, YouTube exclusive. Okay, so that's my favourite place. Also probably another favourite place, Mexico. I think for like backpacking, Mexico just has everything you could possibly want. Like, it's beautiful, it's got the beaches, it's got the cities, it's like cheap, so many other backpackers, amazing weather. Yeah, I would, if you're gonna go actually backpacking, I would highly recommend Mexico. Okay, worst place. I'm gonna have to think about this one. Okay, I feel like this is controversial. It's not the worst place, but one aspect of it I found difficult. So I went to Peru, and I actually was quite bad with altitude sickness. Like, I felt like whenever we got the tiniest bit of altitude, I would feel sick for like 2 days. So I think a lot of the stuff I'd wanted to do in Peru, like the hikes and things like that, I wasn't like able to do because I just didn't feel well even on the ground. So hiking up probably wouldn't have gone that well for me. So yeah, that's something that I felt was a bit disappointing to me, but then that's not a reflection on Peru, that's a reflection on me and not being able to handle the altitude. So I don't know what the answer would be. I can't think. I'm trying to think if there's anywhere else that I haven't liked. I loved Costa Rica, but I found it very expensive. But again, like, me and Keelan are quite like dumb travellers, and we decided to go to Costa Rica for Christmas and New Year, and we didn't book accommodation for Christmas Day until like Christmas Eve. So, and then we were like shocked it was expensive. So yeah, we just found it quite expensive in Costa Rica, so that kind of put us off it a bit. But again, it's not the place, it's like surrounding aspects. Okay, other travel questions. So I got questions about packing tips. I won't go into this too much because I actually have a full video on my page with packing tips. I would just say make sure that you've got a comfortable bag. I would say clear like packing bags, which you can separate like your tops, your bottoms, like your pants, your bikinis into all different sections, would just change your life. I feel like I'm going through this quite fast. Like, I don't know if I am or not. I don't know if I'm giving enough detail or too much detail, because I definitely am such a waffler. What else? Do I prefer solo travelling or travelling with my boyfriend? So yeah, like I said, the majority of my travelling I've done with Keelan, my boyfriend. But then the last big trip we went on, was to South America. So then Mexico, he had to go home a month earlier than I did, so I ended up staying and doing a month on my own, and that was my first like proper experience of solo travel. It's a hard one, which I prefer. Like, I definitely think that I am someone who likes to share experiences with another person. Like, I think I am fine in my own company and I can do it if I have to, but I like the thought of like seeing something amazing and being able to share it with like someone I love or someone I really like. So that's probably the reason at first I was always put off solo travelling. But then when I actually went solo travelling, like, I do find that you're pushed so much out your comfort zone. You meet so many different people. Like, I ended up meeting a girl which I got on with so well. I found her absolutely hilarious. So it all does weigh up. Like, there's positives and negatives. Another little YouTube exclusive, this trip that I'm going on to Australia, Keelan actually isn't coming with me, so I'm doing that one solo as well. So that's, I think, for nearly 6 weeks, so that will actually be the longest that I'm going to be solo travelling and away from him. So let's hold fire on that question, and I'll tell you the answer when I'm back from Australia. So it says, basically, I got quite a lot. How do I afford to travel so much? And basically, what do I do for work? What do I do for money? So I earn money in a few different ways. So I did the first big trip that I went on. I had, obviously, like I said, worked as a teacher, so I had saved up, and then I travelled Southeast Asia and Australia, and then when I got to New Zealand, I got a job which then sustained me for the year, and then at the end of that year I actually got a second job to save money for more travelling. So I started doing Thai delivery driving in the evening, which I actually loved. It was actually such a good job. We were given these little like electric cars to zoom around, and it was actually really fun, and I got free Thai food every single night. Got quite fat during that period. But then when I came home because of COVID, then I started working for my local council. So then I saved up money to go to South America, and then also during that period, so I set up my Instagram in 2020, and then I started doing like brand deals and collaborations quite quickly after that, and I think maybe like started getting paid maybe like 7 months after that. Like, not a huge amount, but kind of little bits which could help me going. And then the more I've gone on, then the more I can earn from it. And now it's definitely like, money with my Instagram is definitely up and down. Like, some months I'll have a really good months, and other months like I won't even earn a penny. So it is definitely up and down, but yeah, that does help me be able to put that money towards travelling. I also do some social media for a travel company, so that was really good. That actually started doing that while I was travelling in South America, so that was a good like funding as I was going. And I've also started doing social media for Vibra Clothing, which is then my boyfriend's company, so they just wanted help with their social media. Okay, do I wish I'd started travelling earlier? Yes. This is like a big regret. Yes. So when I finished sixth form, I actually ended up deferring my place to university because I knew I wanted to like go and do something. But at that time, I just didn't have any savings at all. So I ended up getting a job as an au pair, which is like a foreign nanny, in Milan, in Italy. So I ended up moving there for the year and worked and lived in Milan. So like, that was an amazing experience, and I absolutely loved living in Milan. Like, it was so fun. I made so many friends. It was just such a good experience for me. But I kind of wish that maybe I'd also that year taken that money and then gone properly backpacking, because then I think I would have used my university summers more. Yeah, if you're a student, make the most of your university summers, because you guys have like 2 months off, and I never really made the most of it. I'd always come home and be working or just seeing friends, whereas I wish that I'd like thought to go on longer trips then I could have seen so much more of the world already. Okay, what else? So then, similar to the do you prefer travelling solo or with Keelan, I've got like best and worst parts of travelling with a boyfriend. So the best is definitely like you get to be together all the time, you get to share these amazing experiences together. Like when I think back on all the places me and Keelan have been and all the things we've done together, I just like, I get so happy. Like we've had the most amazing experiences, and I think it has made us like so strong as a couple, which I just love. But then also on the flip side of that, travelling can be extremely stressful, and especially the way me and Keelan travel, which is very erratic, very last minute. Like we have missed quite a few flights in our time. So then obviously when you're together with someone and in a relationship, you're so comfortable with them that you'd probably be more like open to showing your stress than if you were solo travelling or travelling with friends and stuff. And it can be quite intense being together all the time. Like when me and Keelan travel together, we would be together 5 months, 24 hours a day. Like when we went for a shower, the toilet was like the only time we wouldn't be together. So that's intense. It was amazing and I loved it, but also obviously intense. I think it's important to remember that when people go travelling and they, especially like these couple travel influencers, I think it's important to remember that as amazing as it is and amazing as it looks, like reality steps in every now and then, and every single couple will argue, and it's healthy to argue. So okay, I think that was all the main ones. I don't want to make this too long because I feel like I'm just going to be rambling on and on. So yeah, I think I will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. It was really nice to just come on and like have a general chat. I've not really done anything like this before. I do it all the time on my Instagram on stories, but I've not actually moved this across to my YouTube yet. So yeah, this was, well, I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If there's any other questions that you want me to answer, pop them down in the comments below and I can always do another one of these, or you could just message me on Instagram or whatever. Yeah, but thank you so much for watching. Goodbye from me and my daddy cool mug. I think that was going to be lame. I don't think that's going to have worked at all.